Texas! State! Texas! State! Fight! Win! Fight! Win! Texas! State! Texas! State! Fight! Win! Fight! Win! Texas! State! Fight! Win! Texas! State! Fight! Win! Texas! State! Fight! Win! We are Texas State! Win on three! 1, 2, 3! Win!
I got started in Quidditch when I went to the rec my freshman year, and I looked up, I was getting water and looked up at the poster, and there was a poster of the Quidditch team. So I decided to look up the club, and I went to one of the meetings, and they showed a highlight video, and then I was like, I'm gonna do that.
I joined Texas State Quidditch because my sister, when she went to college at UNC, she had a Quidditch program, and so I just was like, I have to play Quidditch, and turns out we have one of the best programs in the nation.
I saw a video on Snapchat the summer before, and I thought it was cool, so I went looking for them, and I found them in the quad, came to the first practice, and just fell in love with it, so I stuck with it, clearly.
I would really describe it as you're playing a game of basketball with a game of dodgeball in the middle of it. And dodgeball players can only interact with each other, and the basketball players who are trying to score can only interact with each other. It also has the physicality of rugby or football, same hitbox above the knees and below the neck, so yeah, it ties in a lot of sports.
Essentially, you're taking the quaffle, which is a volleyball, trying to score it through one of 3 different hoops to get 10 points. At the end of the game, the player or the team with the most points wins. The dodgeball aspect comes into play in the sense of players who get hit with a dodgeball have to take their brooms out from under them, touch their hoops that they're defending, and before they can return to play. And then at the end, there is the snitch from Harry Potter, and it's worth 30 points. Whoever catches ends the game and adds 30 points to their score. I liked that it was full contact for one. I liked that it was an actual sport, so it's not, there's a big misconception that it's kind of like LARPing, very Harry Potter oriented, and it's not really. It kept me in shape, and it is co-ed, so it gave me the chance to play with men who I actually can compete with.
It gets pretty brutal. There's guys hitting girls, girls hitting guys, girls literally taking down guys that are a couple 100 pounds. It's just massive.
We have had a lot of injuries from flying objects, penetrating people's heads and all that kind of good stuff. Also fighting for the balls just like you would in football.
The worst injuries I've ever seen were ACL tears. I think one of our teammates a couple years ago, Romy, he tore both of his, I think. I've had a lot of ankle injuries, knee sprains, stuff like that. Nothing major so far, thank God, but I know a lot of people have had major injuries in this sport.
I have pulled my muscles in my hip multiple times, very close to a concussion one time, and then another time I did get a concussion. And then of course bruises and scrapes and bumps everywhere, but that's inevitable. If you don't come home from a tournament without some bruises and bumps, you didn't play right. I just got hooked to the community and to the game because it was a full contact sport, which I'd never seen as a female before. So it really encouraged me to just ball out as a female.
I honestly really enjoy it. I think that it scares off some people just because either a girl doesn't want to be hit by a large man, or a large man does not want to hit a girl or be taken down by a girl, because that can obviously ruin their ego.
I think it's great. I think it's really progressive. I think, honestly, more sports should be pushing in that area. It's definitely the most inclusive sport that I know of.
We're associated with, a book, which is also different from a sport. People don't usually give us a fair chance that we need to kind of see that it is a serious sport. There's definitely a lot of Harry Potter association. As we kind of move forward through the years, though, and we get more recognition for being an elite team, we do have more and more students kind of knowing us for being good at Quidditch versus just Harry Potter. But right now I think the Harry Potter ratio is a little bit more so than the people who know us for being good.
Some people are just big dudes that run through people, and then you have people who are the fast ones that are jolting down to the hoops to just catch something and put it in real quick. You have small, sneaky girls. It's such a wide variety of athlete that there's no way you could say that this is not a sport.
Someone's told me that Quidditch wasn't a real sport. I'd just be like, come out and play with us and see what's up. I'll let them figure it out for themselves.
Hopefully, in a few more years, we'll be known for just being the sport versus just the Harry Potter Club.
The UPD attempts to keep students aware of criminal activity and safety concerns with periodic notifications through email and text alerts.
Sometimes the emails that they send us make me a little nervous, but I know that they send them because they want us to keep us safe and that they're doing their jobs.
Some students say they now travel in groups at night to ensure their safety.
I do sometimes study very late with women, female friends of mine, people that I see all the time, people that I have in class. And I always try and make sure that I walk them to their dorms if I'm studying with them late at night.
UPD officer Otto Glenwinkle encourages students to take certain precautions on campus, especially at night.
Try to travel in, groups of 2 or 3. That's always best to not walk alone, especially if you're walking. If you don't have to walk, don't do it. So utilize the bus system, utilize this city's bus system, or utilize our Bobcat Bobby safety escort system.
UPD wants students to stay safe and informed. For more resources and safety tips, visit police.txstate.edu. For Bobcat Update, I'm Hannah Shaw.
Quidditch, of course, caters to fans of Harry Potter. At Texas State, it's a club sport and a campus organization.
When I first joined the org, I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know if it was like a really super competitive athletic thing or more of like a fun on the side thing.
Texas State Quidditch plays in a highly competitive league that allows men and women to engage in a full contact sport. However, there's also a less physical version called house games for members to play once a month.
Because some of the folks don't have the opportunity to travel with the team and whatnot, so there's a great opportunity for them to check it out, and maybe they'll fall in love like I did.
Members of the organization say that Quidditch is welcoming to all students, even if they haven't seen the movies or read the books.
It's one big family. Everybody is there for everybody no matter what. I have always felt included and like a big part of a family, people I can turn to no matter what.
With nearly 200 due-paying members, Texas State Quidditch is the largest non-Greek organization on campus, as well as one of the most inclusive groups. For Bobcat Update, I'm Hannah Shaw.